Hi, my name is Carol Pepper, and I'm the CEO of Pepper International. Welcome to Module 8 of my course, How to Create Your Own Single-Family Office. In Module 8, we're going to discuss a critical topic for single-family offices, and that is security. Security should really be your number one concern and priority, bar none. There's so many risks for wealthy families today, and through security protocols, you're going to address all of those risks to make the family and the employees of the single-family office as safe as possible. So we're going to talk about what are the top risks, what are the best practices for implementing security protocols, how to work with the professional security firms that are out there, and a little bit about cybersecurity, which is of course a growing concern. So let's talk about the top risks for single-family offices. Quite frankly, the number one risk is disgruntled or needy employees. So unfortunately, sometimes you hire someone into your single-family office and either they have an undetected drug, gambling, or alcohol problem, and so they desperately need money, or for whatever reason they're disgruntled, or you decide to fire them and they want to take revenge on the family. So that is a serious risk, and we'll talk about how we address that risk. Second, not using security that is already in place is a huge risk. So I've known families that have put in a very elaborate, for example, alarm system in a home in Connecticut that's maybe miles from other homes, and they've had break-ins because they've never turned the system on because the family feels it's too complicated to use and, oh well, we don't need it, and then they have a break-in. So not using the security that you have in place is a huge risk. Similar to that is not listening to the security professionals that you have hired. So, for example, I know of families who hire a security team, but then they don't want the security team to bother them if they want to go jogging, or the kids duck the security team when they go out partying at night. Not taking your security team seriously and not listening to what they tell you to do is a very dangerous thing to do, and it's something that if the parents are doing it, it's very likely the teenagers will do it as well. So not being compliant with your own protocol is a big risk. Being stalked online or having harassers because you're public or your family's known publicly is a huge risk, and most families I know unfortunately are experiencing this problem today. So we have to put in protocols to deal with stalkers and online harassment. And finally, it's unlikely, but it does happen, and that is kidnapping. Kidnapping of children on school trips, kidnapping of any family members, particularly in Latin America, but also increasingly in the United States and in Europe. So we need to put into place protocols to handle kidnapping. The first thing you need to do is to just decide as a family that security is our number one priority. And unfortunately, this often only happens after an incident. So I am begging you, and I do use that word begging, to please not wait for a terrible incident, which I have personally experienced on behalf of my families, before you put security into place. So decide right away. Nothing is worth more than our lives and the safety of our family members, and we're going to make this the number one priority. Secondly, you've got to start working with a top security firm. This is not something that you hire a local retired cop to handle. There are security firms out there that specialize all over the world in working with wealthy families. Two that I can recommend here in the United States are Kroll, K-R-O-L-L, or K2 Securities. Now, Kroll is the largest security firm in the world, and K2 was founded by Julius Kroll after he sold Kroll and started a second firm. I am not paid to endorse these firms. I have worked with them personally for my clients, and I find them to be both excellent firms and choices here in the United States and abroad. If you live in another part of the world, there may be a great local firm that other families use, but for heaven's sakes, use top professionals. This is not an area to try to skimp, so hire a good firm. Cybersecurity is sometimes under the purview of these large companies like a Kroll or K2, and sometimes you want to have an additional technology firm to handle the cybersecurity threats that you may face. You can talk to other families that you know in the family office world or friends of yours and see who they use and get personal recommendations as well, or just start with a firm like Kroll or K2 to get your first bid. But get multiple bids, have them assess everything. They're going to assess physical personal security, cybersecurity, travel security, security for children, every single aspect of your lives, your home, your properties, your boats, your planes, how you travel, how you move, how you're seen in public. All of these things need to be assessed by the firm, and they will come back with a very professional written report and will tell you what you need to do. You need to do what they say, and you need to pay the money that they want to charge you to do it. This is, again, not an area to be cheap. We must put security first, especially in this world where things are getting more and more insecure.